Hey everyone, it's Jill the Health Coach. So let me ask you something. Would you spray weed killer on your favorite cereal? Of course not. But while you may never want to spray cereal with your weed killer, guess what? A new study that was just published says that you may already have been sprayed. So the Environmental Working Group, which is an amazing watchdog group. What they do is they help us consumers. They identify certain toxins and chemicals and all the stuff that's in all of these consumer products, whether it's our food or whether it's bath products or any other types of products out there. They help identify what's in the stuff that we're eating, what we're putting on our body, makeup, sunscreen, all this different stuff. Check them out, ewg.org, and please support them. I support them all the time. But at any rate, they recently had an independent study done, and what it was showing, they were looking for amounts of glyphosate in breakfast type of products or products made of oats and that type of thing. So at any rate, they found really kind of shocking results. So here's the deal. The weed killer that we're talking about is known as glyphosate, the active ingredient in Monsanto's Roundup weed killer. So maybe you're thinking it's not really a big deal. You know, weed killers are typically used in farming. You probably have some in your garage because, yeah, it works really, really well to, get rid of the weeds. But if it works that well on the weeds, guess what? It works really well in different areas also. It's an herbicide that has been linked to cancer by California scientists and by the World Health Organization. And in fact, a $289 million lawsuit was recently won by a groundskeeper dying of cancer in California. He had repeated exposure to Monsanto's Roundup while performing his job where? At a school. So here he got cancer from using the Roundup at a school. What about the kids? Now, actually, I know that here in New Jersey that there is some sort of law that they're not allowed to do that, because I know somebody who is a groundskeeper at a school and they have to use a mixture of vinegar and sea salt and dishwashing liquid, and that's what they use to kill the weeds, and that's actually what I use as well. So at any rate, the point is, if you can't use it at school, why is it even on the shelves? It's got to be dangerous. So being that as it may, it turns out that our children may be getting a very unhealthy dose of this glyphosate every single morning in their breakfast cereal and more. This independent study showed, and keep in mind, this study was just done October 24th of 2018. So it's a very new study. But what it showed was they took 45 samples of products made with conventionally grown oats that contained glyphosate. And only 2 of them did not show any glyphosate. To add insult to injury, 3/4 of them contained higher amounts than what the EWG or the Environmental Working Group would determine as safe. So that's pretty scary. So there's a lot of big offenders. I'm going to name some of the offenders. Some really big ones, so unsafe is under 160 parts per billion. These that I'm going to mention right now are over 400 parts per billion. Some were actually at the 1,000 level, so it's really kind of gross. But at any rate, one big thing is Cheerios. Everybody thinks they're so healthy, but they've got laced with high amounts of glyphosate. Quaker steel-cut oats, Quaker old-fashioned oats, Barbara's multigrain spoonfuls, Lucky Charms, also Great Value instant oatmeal. Again, the kids, the Quaker, I don't know, their name keeps coming up, Quaker dinosaur eggs, brown sugar instant oatmeal, the giant instant oatmeal, and the Back to Nature classic granola. Those all had over 400 parts per billion of glyphosate. So very unsafe levels. It was also in a few other types of items that you may be familiar with, like the Nature Valley granola bars. You see them in all of either Costco or in all the supermarkets. I mean, it's a very, very common granola bar. One thing that broke my heart was it was in glyphosate more than 160 parts per billion of glyphosate was found in Bob's Red Mill steel-cut oats, and that's my go-to for steel-cut oats. So I was very sad to learn about that. Yeah, it can infiltrate even some of the organic because it floats in the air. It's just very hard to not be infiltrated by the glyphosate when you're farming. So yeah, I was a little devastated about that, but at any rate, it's crazy. And you know, the thing about glyphosate is it's been shown to cause cancer. It suppresses our immune system. And guess what, guys? There's a reason that some countries ban the use of glyphosate. You know, yeah, countries, Israel, Malta, a lot of European nations, the Netherlands and Switzerland and Germany, and even going South America, you've got Argentina and Colombia are also banning glyphosate for certain types of crops. So people are getting it. You know, they are getting it. They're understanding that this stuff is really, really dangerous. So the big thing for us to do as consumers is be aware of the common crops here in the U.S., because of course, with the U.S., you know, come one, come all, you know, we don't have to watch out for glyphosate. So it's up to us. So what we need to do is we need to beware of the most common crops that have glyphosate sprayed on them. So the most common ones are corn, wheat, oats, and soybeans. And then some other really common crops that glyphosate is sprayed with is peanuts, lentils, peas, flax, rye, buckwheat, millet, canola, sugar beets, and potatoes. Now those are all slathered with glyphosate just before harvesting, which I don't get. I'm not sure why. It does something about desiccating them or something. It makes them store better. But yeah, they slather it with this toxin right before they harvest it. So now it's being stored with all of that glyphosate. So, you know, if you have any of those, try to buy organic. And it's kind of sad that we have to assume that all of what we eat is actually sprayed with glyphosate, and we're the ones that have to look for the organic ones. But it's worth it, guys. And you know, here's the deal. We can change this if we want, but we have to do it through good old-fashioned capitalism. Vote with your dollars, vote with your wallets, invest in your health. And, you know, if you invest in your health and everybody does, it will create the ripple effect. And that way we will get the healthier food options that will nourish our bodies. And, you know, all this food the good food will make us feel better. So anyway, please share this video with, you know, anyone that you love who may eat Cheerios and may need to know this. At any rate, please check out more videos on my YouTube channel, Jill the Health Coach, or feel free to check out my website, jillthehealthcoach.com, for lots of other blogs. So thank you for sharing this time for you, and I was so glad that I could let us health you. Have a great day.